Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to know why I left school. Okay, I'm so nervous. I even tried jotting down points that I want to speak about today, but I couldn't. So I just decided to make it like a story time type of format where I kind of lead you guys to the day that I was just like, I'm done. It was so abrupt. It wasn't premeditated, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'll just start kancane in first year, right? So in first year, it was mostly going really well. I think I was passing okay. I was coping, surviving, and I didn't hate what I was doing. It was quite interesting actually. And then after first year, or rather towards the end of first year, the last quarter of first year, that's when my grades kind of took a bit of a dive, right? And I remember I was in a meeting with the executive director of the bursary that I was with at that time, right? So they had regular meetings to discuss people's marks. That was the most hectic meeting ever. Like, I hated having to go to that meeting. But then anyways, so she sat down with me and then she was telling me there was a particular module that I wasn't doing great in. And she was like, wow, Sino, do you even want to be an actuary? And I was like, I thought about it, but you know, the right answer is to say, yes, I want to be an actuary. But at the back of my mind, I was like, do I? Do I? How did I even end up here? I don't know if I want to be an actuary. But at that time, there was nothing else that I could be. There was nothing else that I was interested in. So I was just like, I'm here now. And also, you know, I'm not a quitter. And I didn't want to be a quitter. So I told myself that we're just going to do this, okay? We're just going to finish it. It's only 3 years. Then the thing is, as the years went by, my marks also went shri. Basically, that's what happened. And like, the more I got to know myself, the more I got to learn about what I actually like, what I'm actually passionate about, the more I realized that I was in the wrong place, in the wrong faculty even. I would even joke with Anati and say that I'm honestly in the wrong faculty. I should not be in here. Then what happened is that it started eating away at me, because like I said, I wasn't performing really well. And the thing is, I had lost the drive to want to perform well. And I just could not push myself as hard as you have to push yourself in order to, you know, to succeed in uni. I wasn't pushing myself that hard. And it started eating away at me because I would see other students in class who actually liked what was happening here and their enthusiasm, how much they actually liked it. And beyond just the students, I would see the freaking professors. They were in love with the statistics thing that we were doing. And I was just like, I want to be that in love with what I do. And it was very clear that I was not. Slowly, I started viewing myself as useless, like not useful, because I felt like I wasn't bringing value. I don't know if that even makes sense, even just to my own life. I felt like I was a bottom feeder. I felt like I was, you know, at the pits. I started feeling terrible about the person that I am, and I actually started believing that I'm not smart, I'm not capable, and I started feeling like a dead weight. It was really terrible because like it ate away at my self-esteem, at me believing in myself, and it was just terrible. That's all. That's how I can put it. And it definitely contributed to my mental state and my mental health at that time, because I just didn't want to interact with people. I didn't want to actually go to class. I just wanted to stay in my room all the time in darkness, because that's what I felt like was happening inside. I felt like it was just like darkness, and I felt so lost. I felt like I was not where I was supposed to be. Then remember, I was with a bursary, right? So they would have these little events where they would invite their alumni to come and speak to us that are still students and like tell us what it's like in the workplace and all that jazz. And the alumni would come, but every time they spoke of their experience and what it's like, I was it made me even more like I don't want to do this. None of it sounded interesting. And it basically at that point started being the cycle that I would do, where I would try to pump myself up and be like, you can do this, Cindy, you can do this, you are not a quitter, you can finish this course, right? Then after pumping myself up, that pump would last for a day or two, and then I would go back to that place where I'm at the bottom, self-esteem is low, I feel like I'm not capable of anything, I hate it here, everyone around me seems like they like it, and then that will push my mental health to the pits, and I would be in this depressive mode where I close myself down and then sit there for a while, and then somehow bring myself back to the light and pump myself. So it was like this ongoing cycle. Oh, and then feel guilty that I am not showing up for myself like I should be, then be eaten alive by that guilt, and it just kept going on and going on and going on and going on. Then last year again, there was a time where I was just like, I started asking myself, like, what is even the point of living? Like, why am I even living if this is how terrible life is? And let me tell you why. It's because when you speak to older people, they will tell you that, oh well, nothing is easy in life, that's just life is hard like that, we all do things that we don't like to do. So I was there like, this is gonna be the rest of my life, this is what I had to look forward to for the rest of my life, for real? Because I had worked so hard in high school for a bright future. Everything was because of this bright future, and here I was doing this dream course that I worked so hard to get into, and I'm just like, I don't like it here. And it felt like I was trapped, because if I would voice out that I don't like it here because of the reasons that I had stated, it would feel like I am being weak, and deny perseverance or resilience, and the fact that life requires you to be resilient. And then that's when I was just like, well, if this is going to be the rest of life, I'm not sure if I want to live like this. But when that thought came, that's when I was like, whoa, hold up, we are entering into very scary territory. What do you mean you're not sure that you're trying to live this life? And I was just like, you know what, something has to change. I had literally deteriorated into a shadow of the girl I used to be. I felt like I could not recognize myself anymore. And I was like, if I'm starting to have thoughts about not wanting to live life, that means something has to change, bro. That means something has to change. But I wasn't brave enough. You see, I wasn't brave enough to make any change. And then what happened is that last year I was writing a calculus exam that was online. And then when it was time to scan and submit, I missed some pages. So I missed out on some questions in the exam. And I was very confident that I passed the exam. So when it came back as a sub, I was like, I don't know, something ticked in me. I was just like, you know what, F this, F all of it. I am done with all of this. And that's basically when everything set into motion, because after that, that's when I was able to tell my mom, I don't want to do this anymore. But then, we talked, and we got to a point where I decided that I'm going to take a break until I can clear my head and decide what is it that I want to do. So I think that and even the step that I'm taking right now, it's very scary, because there's no guarantee that on the other side I'll actually feel differently than what I feel right now. But I feel like it's worth taking the chance, because guys, when you start questioning whether or not you want to live, that was the breaking point for me. That was the turnaround. That was like, no, go, we we gotta do something about this. So now I feel like if you follow my channel, you know a bit about the sabbatical. You know that I've been really trying hard to have a holistic approach to health, and it's mostly because this is all out of desperation for kahle kahle. This is all out of desperation because I am desperate to not feel the way that I felt. I am desperate to find something more than what I found or what I've been seeing for the past couple of years, because I just believe that there has to be more to life. Anyways, this was a lot. But anyways, that's basically why I took a break from school. If you did not watch my video on 7 habits of highly effective people, one of the things that is spoken about there is that the author was asking people what they think their problem area was. Is it that they don't know how to plan, or is it that they lack the discipline to follow through with the plans? And most people said that it's because they lack the discipline to follow plans. But he said that actually what it is that we lack a bigger yes in our hearts. We lack a bigger yes inside of us that would allow us to say no to instant gratification, like laying and watching series all day, and yes to this thing that we actually want to do, to this purpose that we have to fulfill on this earth. So, I mean, I'm just a young 20-something-year-old trying to find my purpose and fighting for it, even though we're not encouraged, to find purpose and joy and all those things. For me, it came down to, am I going to literally die on the inside because I want to make other people happy and proud of me? Or am I gonna find life and find purpose and live a truly fulfilled life where eventually everybody will be happy for me, because I'll be happy. But anyways, this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if there are many people who relate to the story, but I hope that by sharing my story, it will also encourage you to be brave and go after what you actually want to do, and worry about pleasing everybody else after you've found your path. Thank you.